The video you are about to see was made for our other channel, The History of Weapons. We wanted to release it here at God, Family, and Guns to let you know the type of content that we have. So take a moment, subscribe to The History of Weapons below. Sig Sauer is known to be one of the biggest firearm manufacturers in the world, primarily because they make some of the finest, most reliable, and accurate guns today, and anyone who knows about guns has either experienced it themselves or they've heard of it. In 1976, two companies, Sauer Industry Gesellschaft, or SIG, out of Switzerland, and J.P. Sauer Sohn out of Germany partnered up to become Sig Sauer. For SIG, it all began in 1853 under the name Schweizer Wagenfabrik, or Swiss Wagon Factory, co-founded by Friedrich Peyer, Heinrich Moser, and Johann Korad. Friedrich was a politician and a member of the Swiss National Council, now referred to as the Swiss Parliament. Born in 1817, he was extremely wealthy and influential in the Swiss community. He inherited great wealth and businesses from his father, who passed in 1838. Most of his businesses revolved around the ever-increasing steam power technology. He was also the co-founder of Stoffhaus Eisenbahn Varians and Dampfboot, a steamboat company, and was the co-director of Nordostbahn Railway Company and, of course, Schweizer Wagenfabrik, otherwise known as a Swiss Wagon Factory, which made railroad cars. Obviously a huge proponent of the railroad industry, he later became the director of the Swiss Northeastern Railway. Peyer made a fortune on this railroad niche. However, in 1859, a Swiss gunsmith, Jean-Louis Priez, along with a forest inspector, Colonel Edward Bernand, invented a rifle called the Priez-Bernand 1859. In 1860, the Priez-Bernand rifle won a Swiss contest that allowed it to become the Swiss Ministry of Defense rifle, and they contracted to produce 30,000 of these rifles. Swiss Wagenfabrik jumped on the opportunity to be the producer of the Priez-Bernand 1859 rifle and changed their name to Schweizer Industry Gesellschaft, which stands for Swiss Industrial Company, or SIG, to reflect their new image of machining production. The Priez-Bernand 1859 became the predecessor of the Springfield 1863, one of the most heavily used rifles of the Civil War. SIG later produced the Mandragoon rifle, the world's first semi-automatic rifle, invented in 1882 in Mexico. It became the Mexican service rifle from 1887 to some degree now. Other countries that use this rifle: Germany, Nazi Germany, Switzerland, South Korea, and Taiwan. Oftentimes, the Mannlicher M1917 gets the first spot, but the Mandragoon was invented in 1882. And even before 1917 was the John Browning semi-automatic shotgun Auto 5. In 1935, Charles Petter invented a revolutionary handgun referred to as the M1935A pistol, later evolved into the SIG P210, which is still believed to be the most accurate pistol ever made. So many of the pistols M1935As were made that SIG reached out to German gun manufacturer J.P. Sauer Sons to help. J.P. Sauer Sons was founded by Lorenz Sauer, originally as Waffenstadt Zoll in Seoul, Germany, in 1751 as a firearm manufacturer producing military arms. By 1811, after 60 years of producing military arms to the world following the French Revolution and the Napoleon Wars, Waffenstadt Zoll became the primary arms producer for Germany, for the German government in Saxony. By 1840, now being run by Johann Paul Sauer and his son, also named Lorenz, they changed the name to J.P. Sauer & Son. By 1840s, J.P. Sauer & Sons became incredibly innovative. They created early double-barrel shotguns, triple-barrel shotguns, combination rifles with 2 to 3 barrels firing 2 to 3 different calibers, mostly for hunting, which was dominating private gun sales in Europe at the time. By 1879, one of the first single-action cartridge revolvers, the M1879. That same year, they patented the backloading rifle. By 1898, they were producing semi-automatic pistols and kick bolt actions Their production and designs became extremely innovative and employing over 1,400 people. By 1937, they contracted with Sig to produce the M1938A, so it was an awesome financially rewarding relationship for both of them. However, this quickly came to an end as World War II began. During the war, J.P. Sauer & Son only produced for the war, mostly Carabiner 98Ks, the M30 Luftwaffe drilling triple barrel pistol for airmen as a survival tool to hunt, the MKB-42H, and the MKBW invented by Walther. Following the war, East Germany is ceded to the Soviets and all of J.P. Sauer & Son assets are seized without compensation. Now being run by Hans and Rolf Sauer, Rolf flees to West Germany as Haas Sauer is never heard from again, believed to have been deported to the Soviet Union. Rolf Sauer reestablishes J.P. Sauer & Son in West Germany and continued producing hunting rifles in Eckerford. Following the war, Sig in Switzerland refined the Petter's Model M1935A pistol into the Sig P210. This became not only the Swiss military and police department sidearm, but Sig desired it to be the police and military sidearm of the world. However, there were strict restrictions in Switzerland exporting military weapons anywhere outside of Switzerland at the time. So by 1975, Sig had invented the P220 and purchased both Hammerly and J.P. Sauer & Sons in Germany due to these restrictions to produce these pistols in Germany, and they changed their name to Sig Sauer. Throughout 1970s, Sig Sauer briefly got back into the train business, producing several transit trains throughout North America. The train branch in 1995 was called Sig Train Company, was sold to Fiat. In January 1985, Sig Arms was established in Virginia. Since Sig acquired J.P. Sauer & Sons, they produced the P210, the P220, the P225, the P226, P229, the P250, P320, and the P365. Rifles like the Sig M400 or the Sig MPX. They just announced in 2020 that Sig Sauer is getting back into the hunting market with the new cross rifle. Sauer & Sons has been reestablished producing high-end bolt hunting rifles again. And recently, Sig Sauer got the military contract for the U.S. sidearm, the P320, designated as the N17, making them still one of the biggest gun producers in the world. If you like this video, click like and subscribe. Thank you for watching this episode of The History of Weapons.